How do you prepare for a winter like this? It's stunning, but -30, and the snow can cover this landscape from October to April or even May. People living north of the Arctic Circle know how to stock up, stack up, and work with the seasons. There's even a grow zone app.
Between dark blue and purple, that's right where we are at. And then we go down on the zone map. So yeah, we're 7 and 8. And then you have the mountain region, that's white above. So that doesn't even have a number.
You don't grow anything.
No.
It's a desert.
If we want to go shopping for seeds or whatever, we always look at the packages, what they say regarding grow zone.
Yeah. Well, I know from the last 2 days your country is very long.
Yeah.
Lars Munk is a smallholder who lives with his family near Pajala in Swedish Lapland. Originally from Denmark, Lars grows, rears and hunts a lot of his own food. He loves a full freezer and a log store and works with his neighbours in the village to make that happen. You've already prepped on there?
I caught all my meat here. Then I take this here. This is sort of plastic you use in walls after you put insulation in, just as the moisture barrier. I cut a piece of that off. It's folded, so it's nice and clean always on the inside.
Let's start with a staple, potatoes. You haven't dug those into the soil at all?
No. I just put them on the ground and then covered them with hay. Most people will use like dry straw, but we have
just hay that wasn't any good, or you just
it's leftovers and bad hay from the bales. So if the bales have been punctured, they often have a bit of mold in it. So we of course clear that out. See, that's mandel. That's like a very typical potato up here. It's a little bit more, what do you call it, floury, dry potato. But they're really good at mashed or just when you pick it up. They're really good. It has like an almond sort of aftertaste.
You've got a good crop.
Yeah. This is one plant still.
Is there anything you won't grow?
We can't grow all types of apples. We can't grow all types of cherries, grapes, stuff like that. But there is cherries, there is apples, there is grapes that we can actually grow up here.
On our way to admire his log store, Lars explains this odd contraption which horse owners may be interested in.
So in the summer we can have quite a few horseflies here. That black ball gets warm, and the horseflies believes supposedly they believe that it's a belly from like cattle or a horse or whatever. So they fly in underneath, and then when they realize, well, there's nothing here to bite or eat, they will fly up because the sunlight comes through this canister. They can get into the canister, but then they can't get out, and then they're trapped.
But it comes as a full kit, does it?
Yeah. I think we paid, I don't know, maybe 120 quid for the whole kit. We tried to make one ourselves to save some money because that's what hobby farmers do, but that was shit. In the end, it cost me just as much and it didn't work. So well invested. So we got 3 now, but they work fine. There's like a saying that the snow will drop 3 times and stay the 3rd time. It'll disappear and melt in between. But last year it came and it stayed, and we had snow here until sometime in mid-May. So that was that was a pretty good winter. A long winter anyway. Yeah, and cold.
What was the coldest it was last year?
I think here we had maybe 35, below 35, 36, but in the area there was people who had below 40. So that's pretty cold. Below 40 is pretty cold.
And you get the dribbles then?
Yeah, your snot freezes into you call it the 11. So all the small kids at the daycare, they'll have the 11.
Not everything Lars grows is for eating. He, like many Scandinavians, enjoys snus, a tobacco pouch that sits inside your mouth alongside your gum. He's decided to grow his own tobacco in his greenhouse. This is the one you're most excited about.
Yes, Lauhen Greens, this is the wife's project. But that doesn't mean I can't have something here. And this is it. This is my corner. This is Virginia tobacco. So it's tobacco leaves, no funny tobacco, just regular. But the whole thought of this is to create my own snus and chewing tobacco. Like I really want to try and make like, you see like the cowboy films when they have like this very raw cut tobacco. And I think if you can do that yourself and then with a dash of honey and a good bourbon, like a sweet bourbon, I think I would really enjoy it.
You got your snooze on you so you can show what people...
Yeah, so the stuff I buy nowadays, and I use a canister a day. They look like this. They're small tea bags. It's, yeah, tobacco in a tea bag. And
you can get that in the UK now.
Yeah, Denmark as well. It's really spread. People are less and less.
Traditionally from Sweden? I thought
Yeah.
it was a Scandi thing, no?
No, it's Swedish.
Okay.
Yeah. Snus is Swedish. But the really cool thing about it is that you still get higher blood pressure, but you don't have all these long things with long cans and stuff like cigarettes. So it's maybe a little.
These are really pretty.
They are super pretty, and they grow like, they go bananas. We can just have a look here. So once the leaves, they start turning, this is not quite ready, I think. I mean, this is a learning and doing process. I'm no expert, but this has started turning yellow instead of this green, bright green color. And then what I've done is I simply just string them. I take a thread and needle and pop through, and then I hang it up in a dry area where there's low humidity. And then it dries up, and then eventually it should look, I think it should look something like this. This is my first batch. And just pull this from the freezer. I keep it in the freezer because it's not cut up yet. It still needs to be cut. And there I order online like a small tobacco cutter, which is sort of a handle. And you do like just a small movement and it cuts it into strings. So we'll see how it goes. Might not be perfect, but learning process.
For meat, Lars has a few sources. He recently became a reindeer owner. His dozen animals are part of a herd looked after by the indigenous Sami people. The reindeer are free roaming, but will be gathered up at certain times of the year to be earmarked, checked, and the surplus animals are taken for meat. This mark is unique to Lars. When he gets his meat, some of it may end up here, or in his cold smoker.
Yeah, so in the spring we'll take different types of meat. What do you call them? So the inner parts from the thigh, those that are maybe a little bit, we call them class 3, so they're a little bit more chewy. They're really good to salt, and then we cure them in the spring. It has to be on the north side so it doesn't get the warm part of the spring sun, and we'll leave it for everything between 3 to 5 weeks. Okay. And then the meat cures, nice and salty, but it cures, and then you can cut it and put it on your sandwich, or you just eat it as it is with a beer. Really good. And if you don't like cured meat, then we cold smoke it. Same thing, you salt it, and then we cold smoke it in here.
Oh, it smells amazing.
Yeah, and the really clever thing here, and this is clever, this is actually a cheap hot smoker that you can buy like for, I don't know, maybe 50, 100 quid. And that one is not, it's really good at smoking, but it's not getting warm enough to actually heat the whole hot up. So it never gets over 28 degrees Celsius, which is sort of the, after 28 you start breaking down the enzymes in the meat, and then it gets hot smoked instead. So it's always somewhere between 10 and 18 degrees here.
So what fuels that?
Electricity. This one is electricity. I was actually planning on doing it with firewood, but it was just so damn easy.
Okay, but you got wood chips down there, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you can either make them yourself, or you can buy these bags. And one bag of this will probably...
So where do you put the chips? Sorry,
No,
affect it.
Down here.
Okay.
And then there's like a heater underneath. And then it just generates smoke.
So that's, sorry, I'm losing the... I thought that was a mini chief thing.
It is a mini chief.
Yeah, but what is... So that is actually a smoker?
Yeah, but it's a hot smoker.
Oh, I get it.
Meaning that the temperature in this one would normally...
But because of the volume you've got in there, it makes it a cool smoker.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Which is... And it works wonders. And the only thing I can say is... don't ever do fish and meat at the same time. I've done that once. All the meat tasted like fish.
But you made that yourself, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Scrap wood.
Recovering from smoker and cutting room envy, he takes me to see his cows. Belted Galloways do well
The
here.
closest one and that one, they're born this spring, in May.
Lars is trying to be as self-sufficient as possible. Of course, they have supermarkets and shopping centres close by, but the extreme conditions make you think ahead and prepare. Of course, there's a strong cultural connection with the environment, and the people here enjoy working with the natural rhythm of nature. If you want to learn more about this wonderful part of the world, go to heartoflapland.com.